What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the House of Nerd. We're here today with an advanced review of It's Only Teenage Wasteland, number one, numero uno, out December the 7th. FOC is this Monday, folks. Gonna hit you with a brief synopsis of this book. It's Only Teenage Wasteland, number one, a sci-fi coming of age story centered around our main character. He goes by the name of Javi. Javi's folks, they decide to go out of town. So, what happens is they got the house to themselves. Javi and his friends decide that they want to throw a house party to try to climb the social ladder. Because, Javi's one of those guys. He's not an outcast. Not one of the popular kids, kind of just right there, falling through the cracks. Super relatable.
Super relatable. I told you earlier in high school, I was
Yeah.
very much I think I was perceived as like too cool for some kids and then not cool enough for others,
That's a lie. You've never been accused of being too cool. Stop
but
it.
also ask Leah, but also I was also very much in my own world where
Mhm.
I would put boiled eggs in people's lockers and over the weekend cuz it would stink.
Oh.
And I would write love letters to teachers and put them in their doors like as a joke. I would write
So you were
erotica.
a bully and a stalker. You're
Yes.
telling me.
I wrote erotica and about the teachers and the principal, and I
Oh.
would leave it in people's random lockers, and people would be like, "Oh, did you get the story?" Like it was a thing. It was like there was buzz about it. Um,
The less I know about your high school experience, yeah,
yeah, there was
now-
one point we had like a dress as a celebrity day, and Leah and I went as a pregnant Britney Spears, and she went as what's Kevin Federline, and they made me take my baby out. They made me take my baby out. We just did weird shit. I won't lie. I was the
oh,
one who
you're,
passed
you're
around "Haunted" by Chuck Palahniuk to all my friends. I'm like, you really got to read this.
you're making me
So,
nervous. You're scaring me. Let's get let's get back on topic, back on
but like to
brand.
say, I was very much like Javi. Well, I would say I'm more like Scott, because he was like cooler.
Stop it. Javi is a gem. You are nothing like Javi.
I was
Oh,
more like Scott.
our main character Javi. Yeah, man. Okay, listen. I'm gonna come out and say it
Mm,
straight up. It's
mm-hmm.
Only Teenage Wasteland, number one. Not only one of my favorite debut issues of the year, but favorite single issues, period, all year, man. I love this issue. Uh,
Did you just say the same thing twice?
did I say it? No,
Your favorite single issue? Oh, and
no.
your favorite debut issue?
Yeah, I didn't. You're confusing me. You don't confuse me. Don't confuse me, ma'am. But listen, no, this was I thoroughly enjoyed this one, top to bottom. So it's Only Teenage Wasteland, number one, written by Curt Pires, on art Jacoby Salcedo, on colors Mark Dale, and lettered by Micah Myers.
Micah Myers and
I'm
Curt
sorry. I
Pierce.
know it's pronounced Micah Myers. Apologies, Micah. Yes, man. Dope creative team on this one. Again, from Dark Horse Comic, out Wednesday, December the 7th. The FOC, folks, if you can hit that banner, is this Monday. Make sure you pre-order this one. Very important, folks. So think for me, I got vibes Lost meets American Pie with maybe a little dash of Euphoria in there. Not
Some
as
freaks
hardcore as
and geeks.
Euphoria. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, throw in some like freaks and geeks and
Some
like
freaks,
yeah.
yes. Great reference. Great reference. Yeah. So again, sci-fi coming of age story. What are your thoughts on this one, Al?
Oh, I thought it was I didn't know the synopsis going into reading it,
Mhm.
and I'll say that
And that's the way to go, folks.
uh-huh.
I know we're doing a review here. Sorry to interrupt, but because I honestly I went back and forth. I went into this book blind, and I
Mhm.
think part of the good thing is here is knowing as least as little as possible. And here we're doing a review, telling you to watch this review. Everybody's like, okay, we're not watching it no more. But yeah, I mean, so we're gonna try to be like as vague as possible with this one, and not to spoil, because I think for me part of that enjoyment was just experiencing it, you know, and that's why we're highly recommending this one,
because it kind of starts out as like a coming of age slice of life story. You know, like parents are going out of town, want to throw this party, let me convince my older sister, like very much those vibes. And then by the end it's like a completely different story, but in the best way. And in a way that I wasn't expecting it to, where I didn't know what to expect. But also it kind of alludes to that on the very first page, wherein we're already at the end of the book, at the beginning. And then it goes back and, you know, we see Javi get into some shenanigans, you know.
Shenanigans.
with his cell phone. And I feel like that's probably the most relatable part of the book to you, right?
Listen, admittedly, this book is a super relatable, you know, teenage kind of drama.
I think we will all have Alexis Fox in our search history by the end of this issue. Because I needed to know. I was like, who is that?
And hold that thought. We're going to get into that real quick. Just wanted to point out this screen we got up here is the fantastic Martin Simmons variant cover. How dope is that? Incredible. Incredible. Love it. Gonna try to get my hands on that bad boy right there. So Al, like you mentioned, the book opens with a cold open. We find our main character Javi. He's in some kind of a dangerous situation. He's hiding from a couple baddies, machete wielding, and one of the guys, he's talking about, you know, you can't escape from the bright one. So, you know, mysterious figure. Who is this bright one? How did Javi find himself in this situation under these circumstances?
And he lets it be known at the very beginning, first page, I'm a coward and I'm not the hero of this story.
Definitely not the hero.
And it definitely sets your expectations for him moving forward.
But it's great, you know, because I love a good cold open. I'm a sucker for a good cold open. And then the very next page, we find ourselves Javi in a hilarious.
We is a, you know, he finds himself.
Javi finds himself in a hilarious but also horrifying predicament.
And the sound effects on this page took me out when I first read it, because I was like, oh, it really just fat.
I wish we could zoom in on that. And shout out to the letter Micah. Very nice touch with the there we go. Hey, listen, we don't want to give too much away. But yeah, you know, every teenage boy's nightmare, straight up. I don't know how relatable that is to you all, but I'll tell you, this was.
Have you ever had that experience as a teenager?
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. We don't want to give away.
You said my mom still doesn't make eye contact.
Stop, man. Horrifying but hilarious situation. But listen, I wanna give kudos to Curt right now, because issue 1, he takes his time to really develop these characters and establish the relationships amongst these characters.
Which is probably my favorite part, was the friend. The dynamics in their group, because it felt real, it felt authentic. It made me nostalgic for high school. I hated everybody, but also didn't. You know what I mean? So I would never go to a reunion though. Sorry guys, don't like you that much, but
no.
But yeah, I thought it felt comfortable, like you know, like a warm blanket. I was like, oh, this is cozy, and then it's not all of a sudden.
And more so, I found that these characters, they seemed real and genuine. You know, they sounded, they behaved, they acted like how teenagers talk, how young adults talk, which isn't always the easiest thing for an older writer to capture,
Uh-oh.
right? To capture that essence. I don't know. I'm not trying to put Curt on black
No,
for
I
any
do
for any
have a
writer. You know what
question
I'm
for
saying?
you. I have a question for you though.
What's up?
Is he writing how the kids talk nowadays, or are we all at an age where we think we know how they talk?
Yeah, I
And
know.
so it rings true to us,
Hey,
but when a kid reads it, they're like, ugh.
stop it. I think much like Curt, I've got the
Mhm.
pulse. I got my finger on the
You
pulse
got
of the
it.
young
You
generation.
do?
You know,
Okay.
Curt knows what's up. Curt knows what's up. But great, fully fleshed out characters, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you mentioned the dynamic with these characters. Loved the interaction, the dynamic between Javi and his best friend, Javi and his sister.
Mm-hmm.
Just hilarious, man. You know, this book really coming with a lot of humor, a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
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 No, I really enjoyed it. This was like a super fun thing. Like sometimes just to be like fully self-aware and like self-reflective.
Mhm.
Sometimes we get in, things to review and I'm just like I'm not like super into it like
Mhm.
or even just like genre wise like I'm not in the mood for this, but honestly this fits so many different um things that I enjoy about comic books and about a good story, and it made me want to go back because I have never read Youth, Kurt's other books and stuff,
Mm.
and so like I want to go back and read that now. Like it encapsulated young people so well
Yeah.
without making them feel like, but without being condescending. I'll
Absolutely.
say, yeah,
Absolutely. Very, I guess, gave you that nostalgia, L, of your high school days of what was that, 50 plus years ago or so?
yeah. Like 5 years ago, I graduated in I believe 2021.
82? Stop.
Stop,
Stop.
stop. You
Oh, but
graduated high school the year I was born. I think 1989.
get out of here. The other thing about these
Mhm.
characters, you know what I really enjoyed was uh they felt familiar.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy, I think.
Without being tropey.
Yeah, they felt
Mhm.
familiar without being tropey, but also their dynamics, right?
Mhm.
It felt like they had known each other their whole lives.
Mhm.
Like they really felt like friends, like brother and sister. That's not always the easiest thing, I think,
Oh,
to
the brother
convey.
sister dynamic in this book I think was
Yeah.
like spot
So
on. I think my brothers and I might have been a little bit more violent towards each other, but I feel like at the age they're at in this book it's like kind of mellowed out.
yeah, I can
I
believe
I
that.
went to high school with my older brother, and
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I was an infiltrator. I didn't like to make my own friends. So ninth and 10th grade we went to the same school, and I just whoever his friends were my friends, and I
Oh,
know
you're
he
one of those.
hated
You were
that.
a hanger on. You were
Yeah,
a hanger
and
on.
then I will
Oh
I
my.
will be honest and tell you guys the truth about something, Marcus. If you're watching this, it's true. I did set you up on your birthday to get jumped. But what happened was
Hell.
no, listen, hear me out. They do birthday licks in Georgia, and I had never heard of that. But apparently, when I'm from California, but I went to ninth, 10th grade, I went to high school in Georgia. And they're like, yeah, we do birthday licks where, like, they basically just, like, haze or whoever's birthday it is. And I'm like, oh, well, it's actually my brother's birthday. I didn't know that they were going to take him to the field. They jumped him, and they were all beating him up. And I was like,
So when
uh.
we're talking about relatable characters, you really related to those. Not to take too much away, there was a couple characters, some bullies.
No, but you know what's so crazy
You're like,
about
oh,
that is there's a group of
wow.
bullies in this series, and they're like, hoorah, Confederate flag waving. I went to high school. I'm from Orange County.
Mhm.
I did not know much about the South when I moved there. So when
Okay.
I moved there, I would see like the white kids wearing Confederate flag hoodies and Confederate flags on their cars, and I didn't really know what the implications of that was or anything.
Mhm.
But now in hindsight, I think it's so funny that like basically they were the bullies. You know what I mean? And
100%.
especially when you're dealing with groups a lot, especially mixed groups of people, that's always gonna rear its head at some point. And high school is such an already like hormonal like high emotion time, and then to throw that in there, so yeah, like I totally got that feeling too of being a minority in a school of every race. But also still not being cool enough for that not to be a factor.
But now you're one of the cool kids. You're part of the House of Nerd show, baby. You made it. You made it.
You're welcome. I feel like, I really do feel like the show elevated once you let a cool person on.
Get out of here. Hey, L, let's talk about the artwork. Artwork super dope. Jacoby Salcedo, Mark Dale. Really enjoyed it. Bright, fun, vibrant colors.
Very easy on the eyes.
Yeah, very easy on the eyes. And in terms of the art, these environments, this world really conveyed an environment, a world that's fully lived in. You know, all the details,
the graffiti and the grime, and
whether it's the bedroom or the high school location or the home, like there's a lot going on, man. You know,
you really get their personalities through their environments. Like we are, like page 1 or page 2 rather. Like I feel like we already know Javi based on his room and his, porn choices.
And... For sure. but real talk, like a lot of what Jacoby, like all the little different Easter eggs and all the details that he's adding, it really helps to build this world and the character building, right? You know, there's like you said, real talk. We're getting to know who Javi is. You know, we got, what was it, like the Akira Easter egg. There's the Moonlight poster in the background.
Grimace, is that his name?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
the little family.
The McDonald Grimace. I saw that. I said, so just, it's great, man. There's a lot to take in, a lot of fun with this one. And then also was really fun and cool is each of the main characters have their own distinct style and look. And to me, that's Jacoby. He's really, you can see he's putting that time and that thought and that effort to create these unique designs. It's not just
also
copy and paste
again,
characters.
Their personalities. I feel, especially with their choices. Like at one point, they call Scott, the black character, like a hype beast. Friend. They call him like a hype beast and all this other stuff. And it's true. He's wearing like Yeezy hoodies and stuff, and it's like, rein it in, my friend. Like there's like
cream,
a sneakerhead, yeah. And then Javi with his like blonded shirt, like Frank Ocean, and he, the Moonlight poster, and even his his preferences. Like, it's without even saying anything intentionally, we know he's exploring his sexuality and like what his preferences are. So it was really, and then I think another really nice artistic touch is sometimes their eyeballs will like, I think like one time Javi got mad or something and his eyes were like, fuck off or something.
I loved it. Yeah. I loved it.
Because if you could see me behind the screen, like 99% of the show, like that's what my eyeballs are saying.
Hey, never mind. But that's great. Yeah, throughout the book, with the artwork, Jacoby kind of had like a little zoom in panel.
The heart eyes and stuff,
tremendous stuff. Hey, listen, one last thing that I'd like to mention. Javi is a Mexican American character, and again, kudos to Curt, because this character, he's not portrayed as a typical Latino. Often in media, unfortunately, Latino characters, we're put in a narrow box, playing very specific tropes and characters, whether it's the gangbanger, the pusher, for females, like, the sex vixen. Our character, he's just an average, regular, everyday high schooler, everyday dude who just happens to be Latino, which is cool. We need more of that, so I dig that. I appreciate that. And even with his best friend Scott, black, is not living up to the typical stereotypes,
I mean, all of them, even Sayana, the big boy. I don't know if he's supposed to be Polynesian or native.
I got those kind of vibes.
I kind of got those vibes. And but also the name, like, isn't that like a Dune character?
Oh, I don't know. You're going deep down the nerddom. I don't.
Nerd. But yeah. I think again, like I said, the Fen group, it just rings authentic. It felt very modern. It felt realistic. Even the little, pettiness and jealousy amongst friends, like it all rang very much.
There's so many little touches out that really, really, man, makes this book sincerely, legitimately one of the best to drop this year, folks. That's why we implore you, pre-order this bad boy. Monday, November 14th is the FOC. Get those pre-orders in. You see the diamond code down there at the bottom of the screen. You guys are gonna love it. I promise you, you guys are gonna love it. We loved it so much that for the first time, we're trying to get like the whole creative team on the show, from the letter to color, artist, writer. We've never done that, Usually it's some combination of the artist and the writer or both. But they're like, love this book so much so we said get the whole team. We're trying to get the whole team on, so stay tuned for that. We'll have them on, I think, just around the release date, and we know you guys are gonna love this one. You guys are gonna love this one. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I believe no.
Nope.
Loved it. Do recommend. I think this is gonna be at the top of a lot of people's lists when it drops.
Yeah. So that's it, folks. We don't want to give away too much. If you like the video, if you're digging what we're doing, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe, that thumbs up, all that good stuff. Let us know once you do pick up this book what your thoughts are. We're out. This has been a review for It's Only an advanced review. Excuse me, for It's Only Teenage Wasteland #1. Let's get out of here. Say bye to the audience.
Bye.
All right. That's it.